Hello and welcome back. In this video, we'll be continuing to explain the other remaining arguments that can be passed to the register post type function, explain each of them, and where they are useful. Let's jump to supports. So there are various supports that you can pass to a custom post type, such as title, editor, comments, revisions, trackbacks, author, excerpt, page attributes, thumbnail, custom fields, and post formats. All these are the supports that you can provide for your custom post type. For our movie custom post type, I have provided support for title, editor, excerpt, thumbnail, author, and revisions. Title and author are the most basic support that you can provide for your custom post type, or at the bare minimum, you can at least provide title as the support. If you create a new custom post type post, you can see that you are able to add a title from here. This is because you have provided the support for title for this movie custom post type. Similarly, this is our block editor area where you can add different blocks for your custom post type. You are able to use the block editor because you have provided the editor support here. If I remove this editor support from here and reload this page, it will change the entire editor area because we are not using the block editor, aka Gutenberg. This has happened because I have removed the support for editor. That is why it is providing us with this non-Gutenberg UI, or you can say classic editor UI. Let me go back to the normal Gutenberg editor. Similarly, I have provided support for excerpt. You can add an excerpt from here. We have added this excerpt field, and if you declare support for excerpt, it will add this meta field here, and we can write an excerpt or short summary for our movie. Similarly, I have provided a support for thumbnail. The thumbnail is used to fill in a featured image. This is the featured image for this custom post type. And if you remember from our past video, we have changed the label for set featured image to set movie poster. Similarly, I have provided support for author. So author, you can select from here, and this meta field will be available if you have provided the support for author. As you can see from here, we can select a different author as well. Last is the revisions. When we change or add anything to our post, it will create a different version. So whenever you make an update and publish it here, it will store the previous update. Just in case you want to go back to your previous revision, you want to compare what was the latest content that has changed for a particular post and also get the update back if you accidentally update something or you just want to compare the different versions of your posts. You can provide a support externally with the use of add posts type support method. You can remove support externally using the remove post type support as well. For example, there is a CPT that is registered by a third party plugin and you need to add some extra support that is not added. We can use these functions in themes functions.php, pass the CPT slug and an array of supports of what we need, and it would add those supports to that custom post type. Pretty cool, right? Now, let's move on to register metabox callback. If we need to override the default metaboxes provided, we can use this function. Right now, we don't need to override anything, so I have not provided this in our example. Let's jump to taxonomies. So for the taxonomies, you can pass an array of taxonomies that you want to add for your custom post type. For example, my page's default post type doesn't have any taxonomy, but post's post type has categories and tags as the default taxonomies. If I want to add these taxonomies to my custom post type, I'll just add a taxonomy argument for here and provide it with an array of the taxonomies that I need, which is category and post type. Currently, our movie post type only has the genres custom taxonomy that we had added. But if I reload it now, it also has categories and tags. The default taxonomies that were previously added only to the posts is now also added to our custom post type. So it's an array of string. It would register the default taxonomy to our custom post type. Similarly, if you need to pass a different taxonomy, you can pass that here in an array and all those will be registered for that post type. Next is has archive. So an archive is used to determine whether a post type has an archive page or not. By default, it's false. If we have to enable it, we have to pass true to the post archive, and that archive page has different archive-like pages. We will come back to that as well in a later video. Now, the rewrite. We can skip this for now as we will be viewing it in detail in a rewrite API video later. But just for a quick understanding, it is something about how you need to design the URL of your CPT. For example, movie/category/genre/movie slug. And that is the rewrite rule. Next is can export. Now the can export is for whether the post can be exported or not. If you go inside the tools menu here into the export section, you can see that you can export your custom post type. By default, the CPT is exportable. But if you do not want to include this as exportable, we can pass it as false from here. So if I pass can export to false, it will remove that CPT from here. And now you cannot export your CPT data from the export tool. Next, moving on to delete with users. This argument would be helpful when by any chance the user is deleted and is no longer in the workspace. And the post that the user has created should be deleted with the user as well or not. Next is templates and template lock. This is regarding whether you want to create or provide a template in the block editor UI. For example, we design our content with blocks, and for each of the movie posts, let's say we have a fixed set layout of blocks that needs to be added. We do not want the editor to have full control. They can just add the content inside the blocks without removing or moving any of the blocks. In that case, template lock can be a good example. Also, if we want to pre-populate our content with the required blocks, we can use the template argument and provide the blocks to it, which can be used as the default content. Now let's jump to built-in. This is for internal use only. We should not pass anything here. This is used to identify that these are internally used CPTs. Next is edit link, which is also for internal use only. And if we need to provide an edit link or not, we can pass the value accordingly. That's all for this video. See you in the next one. Jai WordPress.